If I was looking for a job today, I would use this technique. So notice in this Google Sheet, I have written the keywords for which I'm looking for the job. So let's say if I'm looking for React.js, location will be Gurugram. Experience level, you can choose from right here. What's the location? So if it's remote, hybrid, job type can be full-time, part-time, internship, etc. Right? So okay, what I'll do, I'll go to my job hunting bot right here that I'll show you how you can build as well. And I'll click on execute workflow right here. So what it'll do, it will go to my Google Drive and it will fetch my resume. So this is one of my older resumes, by the way. So it is downloading this file right here, and check this out. It has extracted information. It has gone to LinkedIn. It has fetched all of the jobs which were posted in past 24 hours. And now it is fetching the job page. And now it is writing the cold email for me that I can send to that particular company. And after it is done, it will store it inside of my Google Sheet. And it will go on and do the same thing for the next job. But notice, I'll show you. As soon as it is done, it will send me a message on Telegram telling me that it has found this job and it has written this complete cover letter. So if I show you, it has sent me link to this sheet right here, result. So see, it is fetching all of these jobs in real time. See, if I click on this right here, it will take me to the company's LinkedIn page, just like this. It will also tell me what this job is all about, and it has written the complete cover letter for me. How awesome is that? And notice it has added one more job in this list, right? So it will keep on working behind the scenes. And the best part is I don't have to trigger it every time. If you notice, I have added a cron job over here that it will trigger every day at 5 p.m. and it will keep on sending me Telegram messages. And I can take the cover letter or cold email and apply to the companies. Now you might be thinking, how am I going to find the emails of the companies? Well, don't worry, I'll tell you that in this video as well. But first, let's understand what this thing is all about, where I've built this complete workflow. So this is n8n and it is absolutely free to use. You don't have to pay any money. So it basically allows us to create workflow automation. You can connect different tools. Like for example, they've given some examples over here in their website as well. Like you can create a form submission. When user submits a form, it performs a bunch of action. And if it's a manager, then it posts to a channel or false updates profile, right? So, okay, let's go on and see how we can install n8n. So I'm going to go to the documentation and I'm going to click on over here, choose the right n8n for you. Now there are multiple options to get started with n8n. Like you can use their npm package, you can use Docker, or we can set up our own VPS server so that we can host n8n on top of it, right? So, okay, let's see both of these ways. First of all, let's see the Docker method. Then I'll show you the self-hosting way, which is much more recommended, right? So, okay. So it says that first of all, we have to download Docker desktop. Okay, let's download it. I'm gonna download for Windows since I'm using Windows PC. Okay, let's click over here and I'm gonna save it. All right, it's done. Let's go on and install it. And you can see I've already installed Docker, so I'm just not gonna go on and install it again. So after you're done installing it, let's close this window. You can come down over here. You can see it is telling us the steps to start n8n. So let's just open any terminal. All right, so opened PowerShell. Let's see if Docker is installed. So I'll say docker -- version. Okay, it is installed. So now we need to create n8n_data. Let me just open Docker first. There we go, something like this. Coming back to my terminal, let's just first copy this volume create and press enter. Okay, it is created. Now I'm gonna copy this command right here and paste it right here. Just make sure to remove all of these slashes over here and just put the whole command in one line. So let me just do that real quick. All right, just like that, press enter, and now it's going to be searching for the n8n image locally, which does not exist, right? So now it's going to go on and download the image for n8n. There we go, it is pulling the image and it's downloading. So let's wait for it to download, and there we go, it is done. Awesome. It's saying press O to open in browser. I'm gonna press O, and there we go, n8n is opened in our browser. Now you can go on and create an account right here locally and you will be logged into n8n. All right, there we go. I have signed up successfully. You can click on start from scratch and you will be successfully inside of it. So if you want, you can continue with this, or I'm going to show you this self-hosting way as well, which will give you a URL like this, or you can also add your custom URLs, right? Where you can create your workflow and share with the world. And that is the way that I generally prefer to use, right? So click the link in the description down below and you will land on Hostinger, and Hostinger is the best way to self-host n8n. They also provide you with the unlimited workflows, unlimited concurrent executions, and the access to the community nodes as well. Let me show you. If you click on choose your plan, it will show you a bunch of different types of VPS servers over here. Generally, what I prefer is KVM2 because it provides you with a powerful VPS with 8 GB of RAM, 2 vCPU cores, and around 8 TB of bandwidth, right? So let's click on choose plan. And by the way, I had a word with the folks at Hostinger and they've got me sorted with my own coupon code to be provided to you guys, right? So if you are about to take the 24 months plan, you can use roadside coder 15 coupon and you will get the additional 15% off. But if you decide to choose 12 months plan, you can just simply enter roadside coder and you will still get 10% off. Awesome. So alright, let me just continue and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, there we go. I am logged in successfully. Let's click on setup and set up our KVM2, right? So let's select the server location. I'm going to choose India. Click on next. Now we can choose our application. So it's going to be n8n, right? So you can choose simple n8n or n8n with 100 plus workflows, right? It depends on you. I'm just going to choose simple n8n right here. Select and it will choose the appropriate operating system for us as well. Let's choose a root password. So I'm just gonna, there we go. Next, finish setup. And now it is setting up our VPS. So let's wait. All right, there we go. It is set up. I'm gonna click on manage VPS and click on over here, manage app. And this will open your own n8n self-hosted instance. Awesome. Let's quickly go on and log in over here. And we are in. And it says get paid features for free forever. And I would recommend you can take this. It will give you a license key on your email. So I'm just going to send me free license. And once you have it inside of your email, just go to usage and plans and enter that license key right over here. Just like this. All right. Awesome. Let's click on start from scratch. All right. So here we are. So as you can see, we have this add first step plus icon over here. So this is what we call as a trigger, right? When we can click on it, and we can select a trigger which will start our workflow. So trigger can be of many types, like we can add a manual trigger. That is when we click on this execute workflow button, then this trigger will be executed. You can see workflow executed successfully. We can add more triggers over here. You can plus icon, add another trigger. And you can see there are a bunch of different triggers over here, right? You can schedule an app event. Like for example, if you send any message on Telegram or WhatsApp, whatever, right? If you change anything inside of a sheet, like I showed in my last n8n video, on any form submission, right? Or in our case, we will use on a schedule, right? That is, we want the event to be executed daily at 5 p.m., right? So over here, you can see, you can select the trigger interval. So I'm going to choose days over here. I'm going to say every day. So one day, we can say trigger at hour. And I'm going to say every day at 5 p.m., right? I want it to start at 5 p.m. and give me the list of all of the jobs that it finds. So yeah, that is all. I'm going to delete this one. If you want, you can have a manual trigger as well. So if I just run this over here, you can see node executed successfully. So it will act as a manual trigger as well. And make sure to keep on saving this at all times because it does not auto saves. All right, cool. So first thing first, as we saw in our deployed workflow, it was taking this resume file, right, from my Google Drive. So we have to integrate Google Drive inside of this workflow as well. Now, if you click on plus icon over here, we can choose what we want to add as a next step. So I'm going to say Drive, right? And you can see we have a bunch of different apps over here. Whatever you can imagine, you can add right here. Like we're going to be adding Google Sheets and more stuff over here, right? So I'm going to choose Drive right now, Google Drive. And I'm going to say download file, right? We are going to be downloading a specific file. Now I have added my Google Drive credentials over here, but what you have to do, you have to click on this pencil icon and you will see a screen such as this, right? Now we're going to be connecting our Google Cloud account to this n8n node, right? It requires us to add client ID and client secret right here. So that client ID and client secret will actually work for both Google Sheet node and Google Drive node as well, right? This is the both of the nodes that we will require from Google, right? So let me just play the clip from the previous video where I showed you how you can connect Google Sheets as well as Google Drive. It's the same process. Here, first of all, you have to add credentials, right? So I'll say create new credentials. And for this, you have to create your Google Cloud account, which again is free. So it's console.cloud.google.com. Here we are. You can create a new project over here. So I'm going to create a new project. Let's call it n8n tutorial YT and click on create over here. You can see it has been created. I'm going to click on select project. It is selected. Let's choose over here Sheets, Google Sheets API, and I'm gonna enable it. All right, that's done. Now after it, we have to add credentials, I believe. So go on over here, click on create credentials, OAuth client ID, and I'm gonna click on configure consent screen. So now you have to enter the app name. I'm just gonna say n8n tutorial. You can provide whatever support email. Next, it will be external, available to any test user. Next, contact information. Again, you can provide your email and then finish it. Create. There we go. It is created. Now I'm going to click on create OAuth consent. Application type will be web application. Name, you can put whatever name again. Let me just say n8n. Authorized JavaScript origins. Keep this empty. Authorized redirect URL. This is important. Over here, you need to put this URL. So click to copy and paste it right here so that Google knows that this is the trusted URL, right? And click on create. And there we go. Now it will give you this client ID and client secret, which we needed. So click on this client ID and copy it. Paste this right here. Copy this client secret and paste it right here. Now keep this screen open. We will be needing it throughout this video, right? And click on sign in with Google and we will sign in. Oh, actually it is asking us to enable Google Drive API as well. So let's go on over here. Make sure you're on this screen /API/credentials. And I'll just search Drive as well. Click on enable and I'm still not able to log in. I think I've done something wrong. Let's just, okay, it says OAuth access restricted to test users listed on the consent screen. Okay, I think I need to change this. Since our app is not published, let's just add some users over here. So I'm just gonna add myself. Let's save it. And now let's go on and sign in with Google again. There we go. Let's click on continue. And it is asking us the permission to access our Drive and Google Sheet. Let's just give it the permission, continue. And the connection is successful. And yep, there we go. We have connected successfully. Now just close it. And what we want to do, we want to select file. We want to select operation download. And over here, select by URL. Now what you should do now, just go to your Google Drive account and upload your resume. So this is one of my very old resumes from I think 2022 or something. So I've just uploaded it and just take this link right here, right? And just paste it over here. And let's click on execute step and let's see if anything happens. So it's executing it and okay, looks like it is downloading the file right now. So let's wait. There we go. Looks like it is done. And yes, we have this file right here. Awesome. Now we can take this file and pass it forward. But first, let's extract some information from this file, right? So what we will do, we have a node over here for extraction of the information, right? So I'll say extract from file. Yes, this is what we want. So it has a bunch of different options right here from CSV, HTML, ICS, etc., etc. We want PDF. Yes, there we go. Input binary field will be the data, right? That we are getting from the previous node. Let's click on execute step and see what we get over here. Okay, we have all of this information and inside this text right here, you can see we have this. So let's choose table. Yes, that's more like it. And it has extracted all of this text from my resume, right? Because we don't want to provide the PDF to our AI or whatever, right? That will consume a lot of tokens. So it's better to use text by extracting the text from our resume. And I know some of you might be thinking, how will we know that these nodes exist, right? So if you just go on over here, you can see we have a bunch of different categories. So if we, let's say, click on action in an app, you can see we have a bunch of different options to choose an app. If you choose data manipulation, you can perform multiple different things like write a custom JavaScript code. It can convert it to a file, compress, and a bunch of different options right here. So I would highly recommend you guys to go on and explore all of this stuff right here, right? Now, next, we are supposed to create a Google Sheet. So let's go on to sheets.google.com and I'm going to be creating a new blank spreadsheet right here. And over here, we want two sheets. First one will contain our requirements, right? Like experience level, remote, what's the job type, if it's an easy apply or not, keyword, etc., etc. So let's call this filter, right? And we're going to have another sheet right here. So let's click on plus. And I'm going to call this one result, which will store all of our jobs, right? So make sure that you have added all of these headings right here. And in the result, we are going to be adding the title, company, location, the link of the job, score, description of the job, and cover letter. Let's call this sheet job search n8n. Cool then. let's go on and add some data over here, right? That like what type of job that we are trying to apply to. So simply I'm going to say for the keyword, it's going to be React.js. Location can be Gurugram. You can change it according to you. Experience level, you can add different types of data validation rules over here. Like if you just go on over here, it will make your life much more easier. So data validation, let's click on add rule. And inside this drop down, we can have a bunch of different options. Like first of all, internship, we can add another item for entry level, associate, mid senior level, director, executive, according to you, right? And let's provide different colors to these. And after this, we can say allow multiple selections. Done. And okay, so it has added all these. So what you should do is you can just select one column and then add the data validation. So what I'll do, I'll just select it and I'll say Control Shift down key, and let's remove all of these, and I'll remove it from over here. So right click over here, I'm gonna say remove rule. Okay, now that's fine. Let's choose mid senior level, and we can also choose like associate, something like that, right? Now similarly, you can add for remote as well. You can add different rules over here. So if you choose it, click on drop down, and you can add different options like remote, hybrid, on-site, and I'm going to say allow multiple selections and click on done. Let's choose remote and hybrid as well. Okay, let's choose the job type. I'm going to say drop down, and I'll add all of these options right here. Allow multiple selections, done. Let's choose full-time. And easy apply, this can be a checkbox. So I'm going to say add rule, and this can be a tick box. Yes, done. All right, so yeah, that is all. Let's check it, how it is working. So I'm gonna go back, and right here, I'm gonna be adding Google Sheets. So Sheets, and I'll say get rows in a sheet. Yes. And over here, you can add your credentials. So I've added my credentials right here. Again, you have to do the same thing. Just click on this pencil icon and add these client ID and client secret from Google, just like I showed you earlier, right? Now we have to choose our document. So if you click on over here, let's search job search. So it will show you all of the different docs. Yes, you can see job search n8n. So I'll just choose this one right here. We can choose the sheet. So sheet was called as filter, right? Where you want to fetch it. So let's click on execute step and see what happens. And there we go. Yes, we have our keyword, location, and all of the information that we need to start the job search. Great. Okay, now that we have it, now comes the main step, and that is getting all of the list of the jobs, right? So I'm just gonna go to LinkedIn and let me show you something. And I'm on this jobs page right here, right? To be more specific, let's go to /jobs/search page, right? And over here, it shows this job ID. We can remove it. Now, first of all, if we want a job in certain time range, right? Like in past 24 hours, we can say f_tpr equals r86400. And notice if I press enter, it will only show me the jobs that are posted in past 24 hours. Now to get your odds better, what you can do, you can add a smaller number over here, like in past 1 hour, right? So that you can be one of the first applicants who applies to that particular job, right? And similarly, there are more things over here. Like if I show you something like this, we can have keywords like React.js. We can have a location like Gurgaon. We can have experience. So in this case is 4. Like I'll show you what 4 is all about. We have FWT, which is the type of work like a remote, hybrid, on-site. We have full for choosing the type of job. We have full-time, part-time, contract, and also this is how we select it. And again, I'm going to show you how all of this works. And one more thing, I've also written a blog for which I've provided the link in the description down below for building this whole n8n workflow. So you can find all of these links and codes over there as well, right? But let me show you how you can do this. So over here, after this, let me first see, we have all of this data, right? From the previous nodes as well. And by the way, I forgot to show you, inside of n8n, if you want to get some data from the previous node, so like over here in the downloaded file, we have all of this information right here. And the data that we just now extracted from our resume, you can see it is right here, over here, right? So we can use this in the upcoming node, like in throughout our workflow, right? So I'm going to click on plus icon over here and we're going to create a search URL. So for that, I'm going to say data manipulation and choose code right here. And I'll say code in JavaScript. We're going to write a JavaScript code over here. And I'll say run once for all items. Language will be JavaScript. And now over here is where we will write our JS code. And again, I've provided this JS code, the complete JS code in that blog as well. So you can click the link in the description down below. So let's choose, or let's add this URL right here that we had over here, since we are supposed to build this URL according to the user's preferences. So let's rename this actually to create search URL. Okay. So now that we have this URL over here, if I just return this URL and click on execute step, you'll see that we get this URL returned. Okay, that's fine. But we are supposed to add few more things over here. Let's take all of this information from over here, from our get rows sheet, which was our previous node, right? Like first of all, I want the keyword, which was React.js, right? So how do we get it? So this is the keyword. We can just drag and drop it over here. Simple as that. Similarly, I'll do it for the location as well. Something like this. And let me do this for all of them one by one. Just like this, I've just dragged and dropped all of these experience level, remote, job type, easy apply, etc, etc. Okay, now what are we going to do with it? First of all, we're going to add the keyword. So I'm going to say if keyword is not empty, then we will say URL plus equals keywords equals and add the keyword. And if you remember, we had this keywords over here, right? So we've added the keyword. After this, we're going to add the location as well. So if location is not empty, I'm going to say URL equals location and whatever location user has added. So let's click on execute step and see what we get. So there we go. Jobs, search, and yes, we get the time over here. Again, you can change the time from right here. I've kept 24 hours. If you want, you can keep 1 hour, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. We have keywords, location. Okay. Once we have built the whole URL, right, we are going to scrape it. So after this, we're gonna add the experience level. And with respect to what we have added over here in the experience level, we have all of these different options, right? So it'll work something like this. If it's internship, it'll be 1. Entry level 2, associate 3, mid senior 4, director 5, executive 6, right? So over here, I'm going to say if experience level variable is not empty, then I'm going to be adding a switch case over here. So first of all, let's split them. So I'm going to say const transformed experiences equals experience level. Let me just zoom it a little bit. Experience level dot split with comma. And I'm going to have a JavaScript map over here. So I'll say dot map. And inside of this curly braces, I'm going to paste a switch case over here, something like this. Let me just make it smaller. And again, if you don't want to write this code, this whole code, you can copy it from my blog as well, right? So let's see. So in the switch case, I've just added if it's internship, then return 1, entry level 2, associate 3, etc, etc, right? If you just go on and execute the step, you will see it will add it right here. Actually, it won't add it because we have to take this transformed experiences. So after this, we're going to check by doing dot filter so that we can filter out any empty strings over here. And if there are not, I'm going to say URL plus equals and F underscore capital E. I'm going to join all of these numbers that we have gotten in the map. So map returns an array, right? That's why. So let's click on execute step. And now you'll see we have 4 and 3 right here because that is what we selected right here. All right. Now comes to remote. So I'll say if remote dot length is not equals to empty, then we're going to add another similar switch case over here along with the split and map. So first of all, let's understand. For this, I'm going to say something like this. So if it's on-site, 1, remote, 2, hybrid, 3. Okay, so inside of it, I'm going to do exactly what I've done over here. So let me just bring in the code. So const transformed remote equals remote dot split with the comma, and I'll do dot map. And inside the switch case, I'm going to say case remote, so 2, hybrid 3, on-site 1, default, nothing. I'll filter out any empty strings and I will add it to the URL using F underscore WT. Okay. After this, we have a job type. So job type can obviously be of one type only, right? So full-time F, part-time P, contract C, temporary T, other O, and internship T, right? So this is how LinkedIn URL works. So I'm going to say if job type is not equals to empty, then inside of it, I'm going to do this. I'll say const transformed job type equals, I'll choose the job type, I'll split it with the comma, and I'll map through each and every one of them. I'll say type dot trim dot char at 0 to uppercase. Like we're going to take out the first letter over here, right? If it F, P, PCTO, right? So we're taking out the first character and 2 uppercase, and then we're going to add it to the URL. I'll say transform job type dot join with commas. So it's using f_jt. So for job type. So I'll execute this step and let's see if it works. And yes, indeed it does. It's work type and job type over here. Let's add the easy apply as well. So if easy apply is not equals to empty, then I'm going to add f_easy apply to be true, right? Now finally, let's execute this step, and this should give us our final URL that we can use on LinkedIn to scrape the jobs, right? So let's copy this up and I'm going to paste it right over here. There we go. We got a bunch of different jobs right here, right? If we want, we can remove, let's say, associate over here as well, right? Let's try to execute the whole workflow. So I'll execute workflow from the beginning, and then let's see. There we go. We got this URL. Again, let's take this and paste it right here. Let's see if the search results change. Obviously, we removed associate. So now that we have this URL, how do we scrape the jobs from a website, or how do we scrape a website in the first place, right? So we're going to be doing something like this. I'm going to press the plus icon over here and I'm going to say core, right? And we have to make an HTTP request right here. Let's call it fetch jobs from LinkedIn. And we're going to add the URL right here, this URL that we have prepared. So paste it right here and it will show you the URL. Let's click on execute step and see what we get. And there we go. It has extracted the whole HTML of that job page over here, right? We have gotten the complete data, but now we have to worry about extracting each and every job, right? So after this, I'm going to click on plus icon as well, and let's search HTML. Yes, work with HTML, and I'll say extract HTML content. And now this can be a little bit tricky if you are a non-technical person, but don't worry, I'll try to explain you the best way I can. So extract HTML content, you have to choose this. Source data is going to be JSON. JSON property will be data, this data right here. Now key over here is the name that we want to give your result, right? I'm going to call it links. And over here is the CSS selector, what we want to extract. So if I show you inside of this page right here, if I right click and click on inspect, let's choose each and every job. Now over here, you can see we have this UL over here, right? Inside of this UL, we have this LI, one particular element. And here we have some class names that we want to extract. So what I'll do over here, I'm going to say ul.jobs-search results-list space li and div, and we want to take out the anchor tag from inside of it. And anchor tag is what contains the link to that particular job, right? I'm going to say return value will be attribute and attribute will be href, right? So we want to get the exact link of that anchor tag, and I'm going to say return array. All right, let's click on execute step and let's see what happens. Again, this might be a little bit confusing to you if you're a non-technical guy, but notice we have gotten all of these links right here one by one. Let's just take one of these links over here and I'm going to paste it, and you'll see we get the first job over here. There we go, something like this. Awesome, great. Then I'm going to close it and go back. And now that we have all of these 21 links right here, let's loop over them one by one. How do we loop over them? Let me show you that as well. So now I'm going to choose split out. First of all, we're going to split them so that they are ready to be looped on. So I'm going to provide it the field. So I'm going to provide this links right here, and let's click on execute step, and you will notice that we have gotten them separately right here, right inside these boxes. Now these are ready to be looped. So this loop, this step is going to be very important. So I'm going to click on plus and I'm going to choose loop. So loop over item, split in batches, and batch size is going to be 1. So if I click on execute step, you'll just see one link over here. Yep, you can see loop branch, and we have this one link. So now we have to decide the life cycle of this link. So let's just put it. Oh, okay. So this is not supposed to go over here. I'm going to delete it. So after this loop is done, I'm going to put this loop over here. I'm just going to delete it. So yeah, this loop is going to be the centerpiece of whole of our workflow right here, because now that we have the first link, we want to open that page, right? So let's just bring it back right here. And first of all, I'm just going to be adding a wait time over here, right? Because between each and every execution of the links, right, before executing the another link, we want to wait for the previous link to be finished, right? So you can put some wait amount over here. I'm just going to put 2 seconds for now, but ideally you should put like more than 8 seconds or something. Let's execute this step and see. Nothing should happen as of now. See, we only get the link, that's all. Now after this is what the main step is all about, right? Again, we're going to be adding the HTTP right here. So I'm going to click on plus icon, HTTP request, right? And right here, we are getting these links one by one. So I'm going to put this URL over here so that it fetches the detail of that particular job. So I'm going to click on execute step and you'll see that we get the job page now, right? Awesome. We have the complete job page that we opened that time. Let me just copy this up and paste it right here. Something like this. Now we want to extract the information of this job. Like for example, we want to extract the title. So if I just do inspect over here, see, we have this H1, right? We're going to go inside the div H1 and we're going to extract this. We are going to be extracting the company. So the company is this. So inside this A tag, so inside of div, span and A tag, we're going to get the location. So location is right here, over here, inside this top card class and bunch of different more things, right? I don't want to bore you showing each and every one of them. I just get straight to the point. So right here, let me just zoom it in a little bit. And just like what we did over here, we passed the HTML, right? So again, we're going to do the same thing. I'll say HTML, I'll say extract HTML content. Now over here, all of these things remain the same. We're going to extract everything one by one. First of all, key will be title. We want the title of the job. Just like we saw, we're going to choose div and H1. Return value will be text. If I click on execute step, you'll notice. See, we got that title right here. How awesome is this? After this, we can add value. I'm going to say get the company. CSS selector is going to be div, span and A tag. Next, I want to get the location. CSS selector is going to be this div, span, class, asterisk is going to be top card underscore flavor. And top card flavor dash dash bullet. Again, all of these things are available in my blog as well if you want to copy this up. Or you can just write it out by looking at this code right here. Let's click on execute step and see what do we get. See, we got title, company, location. Nice. Let's click on add value again. I'm going to choose the description. And for extracting the description, it's this div dot description underscore text. And then description underscore text dash dash rich. After this, finally, we want to get the job ID as well. So job ID, CSS selector is going to be the A tag, data item type is going to be semaphore. This is going to be an attribute and we want to extract data semaphore content dash URN. Again, you don't need to understand because this can be different for different websites. All you need to understand how you can go on over here and extract that particular information from that page. Or you can also ask ChatGPT to do that for you as well. And it will give you how these things work, right? What exactly the tag that you need to write over here for that particular website. So let's click on execute step and there we go. We have title, company, location, description and the job ID. Amazing. Let's sanitize these details a little bit, right? Let's modify them. So I'm going to say plus icon and I'll say edit fields. Yes, this one. I'll say manual mapping. And now we're going to drag and drop the fields that we need to update. Like for example, first of all, description. We're going to add a little bit of regex over here and trust me, I'm not a right person when it comes to regex, but I used GPT pretty well and I asked it to write me some regex over here. So all I'm doing over here is I'm saying dot replace all and this code right here and this. So what's going on over here actually is it's removing all of those slash and extra spaces and all of those things and properly formatting this right here. Something like this, right? We're going to do next job ID. Now inside the job ID, if you notice, we have this colon over here, right? We only want this part right here. So we don't want the colons. So what I'll do, I'll say json.jobid.split it with the colon and get the last item, that is this item. Now next, apply link over here. We are supposed to create a link. So I'm going to call it apply link and using this job ID, we are going to structure a URL for applying. So I'll say http://jobs/view plus json.jobid.split and I'll take the last item. So this will create this apply ID. We could have also taken this thing right here, but this is cleaner, right? I'm going to say include other input fields and let's click on execute step and you'll see what happens. There we go. Now it is properly formatted without all of the slash and everything right here. We got the proper job ID and the apply link. Now we are ready to make the API call to our AI. So we are going to be adding an AI agent right here. But first of all, what we need to do, we need to create a Gemini API key. So click on plus icon over here and I'm going to say aistudio.google.com/API key, press enter, and you will land right here. Click on create API key and choose your cloud project. If I choose n8n tutorial YT, let's name your key. I'll say job hunter. Click on create key and there it is. If you want, you can copy API key right here. Okay, let's go back. Let's create our AI agent. I'm going to click on plus icon and I'll choose agent and click on AI agent right here. First of all, let's add the chat model. So I want to add Google Gemini chat model over here. Okay. Now you can add your API key. I've already added, but if you want to add, you can click on create new credentials and just paste your API key right here, right? And click on save. But since I already have it, I'm going to continue it. Now you can choose your model over here as well. I'm going to keep it as Google Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay, cool. Then now that this is set up, and you know what, I'm just going to move it right over here so that we have more space. And for this, I'm going to move it slightly over here so that we have some space. Okay. Now let's go inside of this AI agent and now we're going to be writing our prompt. So over here, just choose define below so that we can define our prompt right here. And this prompt is going to be a little bit longer. Let me just show you. Let me just copy and paste it. You can also copy it from the blog below, or you can write your own prompt after seeing how I'm writing it, right? So what I'll simply say, I'm saying you are an assistant that helps match candidates to job opportunities. Your task is to review my resume, then analyze both resume and job description to calculate job matching score. Additionally, create a cover letter based on my resume and job description. Cover letter should contain 2 paragraphs and should exclude the name, address, and signature sections from the beginning and end, right? When using special characters like quotation marks, ensure they are properly escaped with backslash, right? So I've written something like this, and then after it, I'm going to say, for example, your response should be something like this. We want this type of response, right? And then we're going to provide it with our job description and the resume. So again, if you want the resume, we have access to it from over here, extract from file. So if I remove it, you'll see, I'll just copy and paste it right here, something like this. And again, for the job description as well, you can fetch it from right here, from edit fields, right? And I think that should do it. Let's execute node and see what Gemini provides us. And there we go. We got the score. We got the cover letter written. Amazing. And we will set the criteria. If the score is more than 50, only then we'll shortlist that job for us, because that matches better with our resume. Okay. So now, after this, I'm going to parse the output. So I'll say parse, or rather, I think it was edit fields. Yes. And over here, I'll go right here. I'll paste this output. And again, I'll add some regex. So I'll say dot replace all. And I'm going to replace that JSON that was there earlier. So if you notice this JSON. So now you see we have proper JSON right here. Great. Now after it, I'm going to add it back to my sheets. So I'll choose Google Sheets, append or update row in sheet. I've chosen my credentials. I'll say sheet within document, append or update row. And over here, we're going to choose the document. So from list, I'm going to say job search n8n. Sheet will be result this time. We are storing the result, right? And now we have to map each column one by one. So we're going to refer it, like we're going to check if we have already added that data with respect to the link, right? So if link is same, then we're not going to add the data again. So over here, we're going to be adding the data. So let's execute the previous nodes so that we get all of the data right here. And yeah, it gives us the error column to match on is required. So yeah, we will add it now. So now over here, we need to add all of these things one by one. So over here in the edit field, I'm going to add the link. So apply link. Then I'm going to be adding the title. I'll add the company, location, and also the description right here. Now for the cover letter and the score, we have that data over here in the edit fields, but we are not getting the JSON. Okay, I think I did something wrong. I think in the previous node, we're supposed to choose JSON over here. Yes. Okay. So right here, again, I'm going to add the same thing. So just drag and drop this one right here, and I'll add replace all, just like we did earlier. Let's execute this step and make sure that we get JSON right here. Okay, you can see it's like AI agent is doing its work, and now it should be on this. Yeah, there we go. Now we get the score and cover letter separately. So over here, we can go now and put score. Where is it? Score right here and cover letter right here. Great. I don't think we're supposed to add anything else. Let's execute this step And soon we should see our data reflecting over here in this results sheet. So let's wait. There we go. Looks like it's done. Let's go over here and awesome. Yes, we see our complete cover letter right here. Amazing. Now for the most important step, and that is sending the Telegram message. But before that, we need to check if we are compatible with this job score or not, right? So I'm going to say filter. So actually, I think it's if, yes. So I'm going to put the score over here. So score is this. So if JSON.score is, I'll say greater than, so in number, I'll say is greater than or equal to 50. Then it will give us two paths. One true, other false. If it is false, then we're gonna keep continuing our loop, right? But if it is true, we're gonna send a Telegram message. So I'll say Telegram and I'll choose send a text message right here. Now over here, you can see I've already connected my Telegram account. But what you have to do, you have to click on over here, create new credentials, and just click on open docs right here and it'll show you how you can exactly connect it. So first of all, obviously you need to have a Telegram account and then you need to create a bot and the access token for it. So first of all, we have to start a chat with this bot called bot father. So let's open this up. There we go. Let's click on start bot and there we go. The bot is open. So let me show you what we're going to be doing next. So first of all, send /start command over here. And there we go. It will give you all of these things. So let's see. We have to say /new bot. Okay. So I'll say /new bot. Let's choose the name for the bot. I'll say job hunter n8n job hunter n8n. Okay. Let's choose a username job hunter n8n bot. Let's press enter. Okay. This is invalid. I think we're supposed to use underscores over here. Let's do this. Okay, this is already taken. Let's do something again. n8n underscore yt bot. There we go. That's done. So now we're supposed to copy the bot token the bot father generates and add it to the access token right here. Okay. So I'll just copy this whole token and I'm going to be adding it. So I'll create a new credential over here. Actually, create new credential. Add this access token over here. Save it. It's going to test it. And there we go. It worked. Awesome. And also you can see this 8378 until this colon, right? This is going to be our chat ID. So make sure to copy that as well. And we can go on right here and this is our bot. Let's click on start. Obviously nothing will happen right now, but we will make it happen. Don't worry. So let's paste this chat ID over here. This will have send message operation. And over here, we are going to be sending our message. So our message will be this. So we're going to send all of the company, title, location, job score, and everything, right? So let's do one thing. Let's execute all of the nodes up until this point. So I'm going to say execute step till the if condition so that we have the data right here. So let's wait. All right, there we go. We have the data. Now we can just provide this one by one right here to be sent to Telegram, right? So I'll say company, location. I'll provide the job score right here. Where can the user apply? So we have the apply link, right? So this link and then the cover letter that user can copy. So I'm going to provide the cover letter over here as well. Reply markup is going to be none. And yes, I think that should do it. How about we try and execute this step? Let's execute it. And let's see if we get the message inside of Telegram right here. Okay, so we got the error over here. It says bots can't send messages to bots. I think probably we have entered the wrong chat ID. So actually to get the accurate chat ID, what you have to do, just go to Telegram and search get ID bot and this get ID bot will open. Click on start and yes, this will give you your chat ID and your username. So let's just and paste it right here. And yeah, I think that should do it. Let's execute this step from right here. And there we go. The whole workflow is started from the absolute beginning, right? So let's see what happens. It's now on AI agent. Let's see if we get any Telegram message or not. And we should also see it stored right here inside of our sheet. And there we go. We got some message right here. Awesome. We have the complete cover letter right here. You can see we got multiple messages for the previous one and for the next one as well. What we can actually do over here, instead of just providing the complete cover letter, we can also provide the link to our Google Sheet over here as well, right? It's like completely depends on you, what you want to do. And now if it fails, then we want to loop over it. If the score is less than 50, if it's more than 50, then after sending the Telegram message, we are going to loop over it as well, right? And that is how our bot is going to be looking like, right? Awesome. Now, one thing that I also wanted to tell you guys is after you have written that complete email or cover letter, right? You can probably use something like this tool, an email finder, to send the mail, right? Like for example, if you are trying to get my email address, so I'll say Piyush Agarwal, and over here company roadsidecoder.com, click on find email, and see, it found my email. Now I can email this person if I want, right? But not only this, if you want, you can also add one step further over here and integrate this inside of your workflow. So what you can do, you can go to the API. Is actually paid. That's why I didn't want to show you guys over here, but I think they have some free trial as well. So you can check this out. You can integrate it by adding an HTTP request over here, and it will automatically send the email. Like it will extract the email, and to send the email, you can integrate this Gmail node over here, right? So this is your homework. You can try and adding it over here. Me personally, I like to write my own emails. That's why I have not integrated this mail finder in this workflow. So hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more such videos like this in the future.